Good morning. Good morning. We're going to begin with continuing our infection control chapter and closing up with PSI State Board Prep. I do have this recording because I see one of our classmates not on, so we'll have this recording to share with her. And so bear with me as we continue to explore infection control. It probably won't be long today if that student does not pop on. We'll do about 30 minutes of infection control and we'll move over um, into PSI. Okay. Us having that additional state board, additional PowerPoint that talked about, different levels of infection control and gave us some examples. I wanted to pick back up here where we discovered some terms yesterday and the other day, and we talked about contagious, contagion, communicable diseases, and how that is translated into what we are, our license, and how our license affects that. So it says a disease becomes contagious or communicable when it spreads from one person to another by contact. All right. We are considered personal service workers, PSWs. PSWs, personal service workers, are the first ones in contact sometimes with that first individuals in contact with people who have these communicable or contagious diseases. One thing that we need to know, yes, we love our clients, but in the back of our minds, we also need to know clients just want their services. Okay, they want their services. I would say you're not really being thought of as to preventative measures. They just want the services. So I never want you to lose that light. And remember, you have to protect yourself and you also have to protect your family who you could possibly take these communicable diseases to. Okay. And so we have to be still, we love the service, but be very observant of who's coming in and that analysis and consultation with these hair, skin, and nails are going to be top tier. Okay. We can never let that go because a lot of times if we do our visual analysis, we do our hair and scalp analysis where we're looking through it, we'll be able to see some of these things and not when it pops up later. One of the most common contagious diseases that prevent a stylist, that's us, from working are tuberculosis, common cold, ringworm, scabies, head lice, and viral infections. Okay. We cannot work on clients with these. These are easily transmitted to us. Most of the time, and you're looking at viral infections, they've already been there for a while. Okay, so we may confuse those symptoms with the common cold. It's that the chief sources of contagion are unclean hands and influence. And so this is also why we sanitize our hands. This is also why we wear gloves. This is also before every service. It is in our state law that we wash our hands. Okay. Contagious diseases can also be spread from open wounds, open sores, pus, mouth, and nose discharges, and shared drinking cups. And so, yes, no sharing of the drinking cups, telephone receivers, we wipe that down. Make sure every client has clean towels. We're sneezing in our elbow or we're excusing ourselves. And if there's any signs of infection, we're making sure that we ask questions pertaining to that and we cannot service the clients. It says infection can be prevented and controlled through personal hygiene and environmental cleaning. I did have a student ask, like, why do we always gotta sanitize our hands? Why do we always gotta do this and do that? A lot of times, and that's what our state board pretty much references the sanitation component. They really want to know that you have this down pat. They're really trying to send a message of infection control. Okay, so it's not like something they're making up. These tests and evaluations are built on statistics and logistics. Okay, uh, they know, and a lot of it came from this post pandemic, and we had some changes within the pandemic and just the threat of COVID-19 and the spreading of other diseases and things of that nature, just to protect the PSW. Wash your hands, sanitize your hands, wear your gloves, put on if you got the disposable gowns, wear your goggles. So many different preventative measures so you do not um, uh, get a contagious or communicable disease, and then you start to be the one to spread it. So many things to protect us. And even with tuberculosis, PSW in Tennessee at one point were required to have tuberculosis shots. Okay, we no longer are required to do that, but it was that deep, and if it was that deep where we had to go and require um, this immunity booster. How serious do you think it is now with so many more people doing so many more things? Okay. And so, yes, these are some things we got to check out. Look at the FYI. A disease results when bacteria is carried throughout the body. It becomes communicable or contagious when it spreads from one person to another. Some common contagious diseases. I wanted to talk about headlights, MRSA, and HPV. Okay. Which HPV, now there's a vaccination and it's caught early, and they suggested in kids from 13 to 15 to start with that antibiotic, start with that within that system as far as a shot. So just to help people on down the line. And then also you talking about MRSA, which as of now, you have your blood infused transfusions and things of that nature. Um, and it's communicable. Okay. You really have to start building your immune system, and you have to start building your awareness as well. The caution contagious disease called a parasite should never be treated in a school or salon. So anyone with ringworms or headlights, we cannot treat them in a salon. We cannot service them. And so many times I've seen individuals notice mid-service that their client has ringworm and headlights. You didn't notice this at the bowl. You didn't notice this during the client consultation. You didn't notice this during the scalp analysis that you looked through. And they was like, oh, they skipped it. So be very, very cautious not to skip those things. And they're in place for a reason before the service so we can start catching some of this. Okay. And never neglect your words. And so always, asking questions about previously where they've been, anything you feel that is abnormal, ask about it. Definitely ask about it. Looking at some additional terms that we will continue to go over, it is very essential that every natural hair student, really every student, learn their terms. Okay, if you learn the terms, you become very familiar with what is being asked of you. Okay, so from allergy, contagious disease, contamination, and decontamination. These are two terms I want to review. It says contamination, the presence or the reasonable anticipated presence of blood or other potentially infectious materials on an item's surface or visible debris or residues such as dust, hair, skin. That's contamination. Decontamination is the removal of blood and other potential infectious materials on the item's surface and removal of visible debris residue such as dust, hairs, and skin. So contamination versus decontamination. Yes, we have those two definitions. This is what I want you to understand, and I give you an example. Um, Contamination, dirty. Decontamination, you make clean. Okay. Contamination, I have a jar of gel that my friend allowed me to use. She's only been using it on her. She's been sticking her finger in there. You go stick your finger in there. Now it's contaminated. Nobody else should be using it because your germs are now, your skin cells are now in there. And when she sticks her finger in there, she possibly could be exposed to an infection. Decontamination and maintaining that era of safety and infection control, hygiene, things of that nature. I'm going to take a spatula and I'm going to get the product out and put it on my fingers. All right. Take a spatula, get the product out, put it on my fingers, and I'm going to return the gel. Okay. I did not cross contaminate. I did not take my hand that's been everywhere and put my hand in that product. I use a spatula. And that's really what we're going to use when we have products like that. It's making sure that we don't stick our fingers in there, causing contamination. Then we have diagnosis. Okay. We are salon professionals. We're not doctors. Okay. Some people say that we are hair doctors. Yes, we can analyze. All right. But send your client to the professionals to get the diagnosis. Okay. And the beginning of a treatment plan. The treatment plan that the doctor gives them, plus the treatment plan that you have, you'll merge them two together. Okay. So you start to work together. A disease, an abnormal condition of all or part of the body or its systems or organs that make the body capable of carrying on normal function. When there's a disease present, especially of the system or of the organ, okay? Remember, your body needs all systems to function. So when something is ill and out of order, your body seems to say, what's going on with our brothers and sisters over there? How do we immediately start to go fix it? And so you have your immune system starts to quickly go and fight and rebuild. Okay. So we have to be very vigilant of that as well. From exposure incident, you'll see this again, exposure incident in which natural hair PSI testing, you do have to initial that you have to perform a blood spill cleanup. Okay. So if your client was accidentally cut, what would you do? We immediately stop the service. Okay. We'll try to stop the blood flow, clean around the area, apply the bandage, remove our gloves, wash our hands, sanitize our hands, dry our hands, and put our gloves back on. Okay. So that procedure has to be, it's a part of your state board prep, along with working on those 4 quadrants. And infectious disease, of course, spreading from one person to another, but it carries harmful bacteria. Inflammation, when you see this term, think of redness and also think of a sign of infection. So wherever you see redness, inflammation, also you may find local fever. That means heat. You may find pain. You may find swelling as well. And also you may find pus. Okay, let's see what happened to our screen. Okay, hold on one moment. Checking out. Oh, there we go. Okay. And so we'll pick up here at parasitic disease, or let's look at occupational disease, parasitic disease, pathogenic disease, systemic disease. All four of these have their own characteristics. When you look at parasitic disease, you are talking about lights and mites, so skin mites, lash mites, um, scabies, things of that nature. Um, Pathogenic diseases, includes microorganisms from bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. And then systemic disease, disease that's carried through the bloodstream that affects a system of the body. All right. And so, as we review those particular terms, moving over to wanting to highlight about viruses, this is the season many individuals start to get colds and things of that nature. Since a virus is a submicroscopic parasitic agent that is infectious and can live only within other living bacteria. So it lives off of something, okay, whether bacteria, plant, or animal cells. So it's going to feed off of that. Okay. Has to have a host in order to live. And since it's submicroscopic, which means not really seen with the naked eye, you don't really know you have a virus until it's been there for a while. Okay. A few days. We're talking about the flu. Yes, common cold. We're talking about the flu and pneumonia, things of that nature. So you got to be very careful. Viruses can affect digestive systems. Also, it can affect, have an attack on your respiratory systems. So you want to make sure um, that we are strengthening those areas even now as an awareness. The weather is temperatures changing, seasons have changed, and virus can run rapid. It's all kind of things that can come up every year, different types of things that can come up. And so we want to make sure we protect our digestive systems, and we protect our immune systems, build it up as much as possible. There are some viruses that we may see often, and that's HIV. That is the virus. AIDS is the disease, but HIV causes AIDS and attacks the T cell of the immune system. So it breaks down that immune system so it's not strong enough to fight the virus. Okay. Um, it says other viruses that infect humans. You're looking at measles, mumps, chickenpox, hepatitis, smallpox, warts, H1N1, and polio. Okay. These are viruses. And these particular viruses can also, as I stated before with HIV, affect the immune system. Okay. Generally, these can be treated with antibiotics. Viruses are not affected by antibiotics. Usually, it has to run its course. It is a process, immunity process. Okay. Health authorities recommend vaccination for a lot of these. Just being very careful when it comes to hepatitis A and B. Yes, there's vaccinations, but y'all, there are different levels of hepatitis as well. I've even seen a K, So hepatitis can go very, very far. So be very, very vigilant, very, very careful of that. Um, I'm gonna come down to here where it says the main sources for spreading diseases are as follows. And this is for everyone to know. Unclean hands and surfaces and influence. This is why we wash our hands. This is why we sanitize our hands. Open sores, so any opening in the body could be a pathway for bacteria. From open sores, pus, mouth and nose discharges, okay? And a lot of times we see this in children. We see it in adults as well, making sure we cover our nose, making sure we're wiping our nose, we're washing our hands, okay? We don't have our hands near our nose, our mouth, things of that nature. The common use of silverware, cups, and towels. This is why sometimes people have disposables. We're making sure we're washing this because when you don't have disposables, making sure you're washing those dishes and making sure they're clean because you don't want to pick up bacteria from one person to the next. Don't want to spread it. And unprotected and uncovered coughing, sneezing, and spitting. One of the most grossest things is spitting in public. Okay, so we need to make sure we're guarded around all of that. Okay, making sure that we are looking at these set of terms that we have in reference to what you see at the top of the page, hepatitis D. Okay. It can only develop in people who have the hepatitis B virus. Okay. It reinforces the need for immunization because here you go again. It attacks the immune system. Okay. You have these things continuously attacking our immune system. We're going to review some terms and then we'll jump over to stable prep. You have hepatitis D, you have HIV, which is human immune deficiency virus. Okay. Um, it leads to AIDS, which is acquired immune deficiency. Okay. So HIV is the virus, and then you have AIDS, AIDS as the disease. Okay. And then you have fungi. And fungi is one of those things we deal with in the salon. That's why we have to have hospital level, universal level disinfectants to fight it. Okay. Microscopic plant parasites, including molds, mildews, and yeast. Fungi can produce contagious disease such as wingworm. We deal with this in the salons and barbershops. Okay. Looking at mildew, type of fungus that affects plants or grows on inanimate uh, objects that does not cause human infections in the salon. Okay. But if there's mildew there, you know that there's germs and bacteria as well. So you need to make sure there's no standing water, no moist towels sitting around, keeping things clean, no dirty water, things of that nature. Tinea, um, which is a technical term for wingworm. There's many different types of tinea. Tinea manis, wingworm of the hands, where you have it in the middle of your fingers. Tinea pedis, you have it in your toes. Okay. And a lot of people would call this athlete's foot, tinea pedis, wingworm of the feet. And then we have um, Tinea capitis, okay, ringworm of the scalp, cap, like a hat. Tinea capitis, ringworm of the scalp, okay. It's a fungal infection and not a parasite, all right. So it will not be characterized with lights and scabies and things of that nature. So it's you do have characteristics of itching and scaling and painful lesions, but tinea will be separate from lights and parasites, um, lights and scabies. I just wanted to go over the did you know? Oh, and then there's tinea furvosa. Um, Tinea favis, characterized by dry, sulfur yellow cup-like crust on the scalp called scutula. This is also associated with pityriasis, which is known for its dandruff. Okay, but it can be a cross between a very like yellow. odor, crust on the scalp. And I see this sometimes when individuals who do not shampoo or they keep protective styles up too long. So the good thing has now turned into a bad thing. Okay. And so we see this. And I think I've mentioned I've had a client that didn't shampoo her hair for 6 months. And she had so much stuff in her on her scalp that it defeated the purpose of the protective style. It defeated the purpose of the protective style. Okay. And so did her hair came back. She called back. Y'all, it was another 6 months. And so clients can really get comfortable with that. Please stress that, whatever your policies are, stand on business, whatever it is. But tinea provosa is a bad one. And we see this all the time. And a lot of individuals try to do like ASMR and things like that. There's a population on YouTube that loves to see people just scratch scalp. Okay. And so when you see not just little dust flakes, you're talking about this covers the scalp. You're lifting this crust, dryness up off the scalp. Okay. And it has an odor. It can scar, it can infect the hair follicles, and you can lose hair in that area. It'll be an overkill to the hair follicles. So you want to be very, very careful, be very, very clean. Allow your clients, yes, you can have protective services, but and styles, but this is the length of time I suggest you wearing them. And there's maintenance to your styles as well while you're wearing them. Okay. And something covering the scalp that's used to being breathed, that's breathing all the time, you can have a buildup of oil, sweat, and dirt, plus all of the environmental dirt as well. And that can be a breeding ground for ringworm. You have Tinea barber, which is the ringworm of the beard area. Okay, when you hear barber, that's male hair on the face. All right, and the neck. And so Tinea barber, and we do have males that will continuously itch and scratch their beards. And a lot of times you have to think about if they're doing that, that is something that is irritating them, and it's probably a ringworm. Okay. If it's not a ringworm, there's something called folliculitis, where there could be a possible infection in this area. Okay. So that's something you need to check. Here's what we should all be mindful of. Do not break the skin. A break in the skin is a pathway that bacteria can come in. Okay. And so our skin is our number one protector against disease and bacteria. But a break in the skin, okay, a cut, pimple, or scratch can cause bacteria um, if we still had these practices of unclean behavior and you have a break in the skin, that is a breeding ground that it can begin to grow. Okay. Making sure we cover our mouth. I even have a friend that don't like chewing her food out in the open. She don't like the air on her food. Okay. And so I'm kind of like that as well. So we want to make sure that we are covering our mouth. You're chewing your food with your mouth closed. Your eyes, nose, and ears are kept clean. Our body is going to fight, but we want to make sure those openings in our bodies are always clean because they are pathways to bacteria. Our body secretions such as sebum, which is oil, sweat, earwax, and digestive juices. Okay, this is a way that we can get contagious diseases. Okay, this is a way that bacteria can spread from one person to the next. All right. Um, and antitoxins, antibiotics, they can interact with toxins as well. But you do have things like MRSA that bacteria does not work on. Looking at these terms here, because I know we deal with them, you guys will find someone that has scabies. They will come and sit in your chair. Okay. Either they have it on their skin within their bra straps. I tell my aesthetic students, you may find it within someone's bra strap area under their breasts, or you may find it in their bikini area. Okay. Scabies. It's a lice, it's a bug. Okay. A lot of times it goes from one person to the next. That's it. It's going to carry from one person to the next. Sometimes people pick it up from their homes. Sometimes people pick it up from hotels. Sometimes people pick it up from wearing other people's clothes that have not been washed. Sometimes we pick it up from wearing other people's underwear that has not been washed. Okay?
Ooh.
You will, yes, 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 yes. You will see clients come in with this. You cannot service them. And it was said that a lot of manicurists can easily get it because they touch and hold people's hands. Y'all, we sanitizing people's hands. We sanitizing hands. If we're ever doing a manicure, sanitizing the hands. And you ever go get your nails done, they have protection on, but they'll take your hands and go right to work. They don't know where your hands have been. And I really trust the feet more than I do the hands because I know where the feet been all day. We just let them soak a little bit. And so really being cautious of who hands you're shaking as well, because that's shaking hands. It's a transfer. Okay. So making sure you don't have no cuts and things like that on your hands, no hangnails and things of that nature that'll make it worse. Scabies, contagious skin disease. It's an itch mite. You can pick it up from places you lay your head. Just going to sleep on people's house, wake up. Laying your head on people's couches to wake up. Especially if their couches are porous, which means grandma and them used to have plastic that made it non-porous. That means your bacteria, your germs did not soak into that couch. And she could have plastic on that couch 20 years. But when she take the plastic off that couch is still brand new, fresh. And so being very mindful and careful, this is why people take their sprays, they do a whole hotel wipe down, things of that nature. So you want to practice extreme care to clean and disinfect all tools and surfaces, from towels to headrests to capes to chairs. Anything that touches the client has to be immaculately clean. Okay. Look at immune system and protects the body from disease or developing immunities by destroying disease causing toxins and bacteria. I'm gonna tell you now, and you can jump on the chat. What have you been doing to help build your immune system? I take um, with the whole foods, and I take something called wellness, but it's a uh, elderberry syrup. Loved it so much. I made my own elderberry juice, and I'm going to make the syrup. So I'm going to get some more raw honey. So the other day, I just went and I made too much, but it's in the refrigerator. We made about 7 bottles of elderberry juice, and that's what I've been just drinking recently. Okay. I also made some booster shots with some fresh ginger, pineapple, green apple, some key limes because they're alkaline, help fight in your body. Um, and none of them were water added, so I didn't add any water to any of them. So those booster shots. Also, um, I have Mary Ruth, like extra extreme vitamins. I have it in the liquid form, so it really gets into our systems quicker. I have the vitamin C. I have the multivitamin 71. And then I also have the bedtime um, liquid vitamins. And so, y'all, I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to work on. I am that person that don't like taking medicine, so I'm just working on doing the best I can. Okay, doing the best I can with some of my natural ingredients. Also, I have herbs and teas and stuff like that that I'm going to challenge myself to drink those daily, if not every other day, to help build my immune system up as well. And then we have naturally acquired immunity. This is something within the body that's inherited, because you will have people that say, I don't get sick, or they don't really run in our family. We just, this person, oh, he never gets sick. It could be that he has a natural immunity, okay? Something that's inherited. And it says an example of naturally acquired immunity is the transfer of antibodies in the placenta from mother to fetus during pregnancy and after birth from breast milk. Okay, so it's natural immunity. You have, and I've seen this recently, that many individuals are saying, hey, I want my placenta when they have babies. They want to take their placenta with them. Okay, leaving it at the, I'm not a parent, but hospitals sell the placenta, y'all, and it helps build antibodies, okay? And it helps build medicine. And they sell those placentas for a lot of money. So moms are saying, hey, I want my placenta. I want to take it with me, because moms, you're not getting the money after you have the baby. So you have people that are definitely saying that. And then you have artificially acquired immunity. That would be your shots, that would be your vaccinations, the COVID-19, the flu shot, the HPV shot. Okay. So it's so many different vaccinations that we've had to have: high school, middle school, elementary, college. And so it's so many different ones that we have to have. You have a lot of parents opt for homeschooling because they don't want to give their children vaccinations. So that has always been an issue as well. Okay. And looking at principles of prevention and control, and pretty much we know some of the things that we have to do in the salons: keeping things in order, keeping a clean salon. We're going to offer a great, harmonious, and safe environment for each client. It also builds our rapport, that we are very careful about what goes on in our business, and our clients will feel comfortable when they come in because they know they're coming into a clean place. Okay. Also, this is the building up of personal hygiene. Okay. Protecting yourself, because if you're not good, you cannot service your clients. You're going to be no good to anybody else. So we got to make sure you're well, but we do have the salon wellness as well. And these are procedures of principles of prevention. And we're talking about decontamination, method one and method two. So I want you to know this. Method one, of course, is cleaning. It's soap and water. It says detergent. Cleaning with soap and water, okay? Or disinfecting with an EPA approved disinfectant. So there's a disinfectant, a cleaning product that has an EPA number. Okay. That is mostly what we're doing in schools and in salons. And then there's two, cleaning and sterilizing. Yes, you're cleaning, and then you're sterilizing through heat and pressure in an autoclave. It's going to kill the spore off the elements. These are cabinet sterilizers, okay, that you see inside the salons. And each salon has to have one in order for it to open up and and be licensed to open up. Look at our key term: allergy, a reaction due to extreme sensitivity to certain foods, chemicals, or other normally harmless substances. Okay. And so we're going to make sure that we're cleaning, using decontamination method one and two. Make sure you guys read over that. How to use antiseptics and disinfectants. Antiseptics falls into the category of cleaning substances that prevent the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Antiseptics, you guys, could be alcohol, and for Tennessee, it's 70% alcohol. It could be astringent, like your sea breeze, your witch hazel, things of that nature, which can be used for cleaning surfaces and can be used on the skin. Okay. Germicides that are safe to use on the skin, scalp, and hair. That is why we said alcohol, sea breeze, um, toner, things of that nature. Okay. Most of these are regulated by the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration. All right. Then we have natural antiseptics. This is what I love to use also. Tea tree oil. Now we get into our essential oils and things of that nature. Aloe plant is characterized by its long, tapered, thick green leaves. We all know aloe has so many benefits. The gel directly soothes itching and burning. When I was doing relaxers, I would use the aloe vera after a relaxer. We wash it, rinse everything out. And before the client goes to the bowl, I am taking that aloe vera gel from the plant, just opening up the plant and take it around the hairline, around the scalp, throughout the scalp, and allowing the scalp to start to heal and rebuild itself. Okay. And what we could do, we could tell the clients to use the aloe as well in between braids and things of that nature. If they have a cut, it starts to heal and relieve itching, things of that nature. Tea tree oil is just medicine. Okay. Clear. Yes, it has aromatic value, but it's a healer. It's great for anti-inflammatory. Um, um, Herpes, sores, insect bites, cuts, burns, fungal infections, things of that nature. Okay. It can be used with a carrier oil. Okay. And it's great. You'll find sometimes products that have tea tree in them because it soothes the scalp. Okay. Especially if someone is itching and has dandruff and things of that nature. Okay. Come down to disinfectants, efficacy, effective according to the label. Most of our products that are FDA regulated, they have to do what the label states that it does. And that's why they have an EPA number. If it does not do what it says it does, it will not have an EPA number. Okay. Talking about effective disinfectants in the workplace, let's look at proper disinfection. This is where we'll pause here and as we talk, introduce barbicide. Okay. If you have not done your barbicide um, certification, let's please make sure we do our barbicide certification this week. Okay. So what's going to happen? You go to the barbicide website. Okay. So barbicide.com, look under certifications, do the barbicide certification. Okay. Every student has to have this barbicide certification. Do both of these, they are free. Once you have your certificate, especially for those students that are still in the program, Nini, you'll send this over to me if you have not already done it. Okay. This goes in your folder as part of your course. So you do the barbicide certification. You can print this, y'all. Put it up in a frame. Put it up where you work. That gives the clients more assurance that you're here and you know what you're doing. Okay. Barbicide certification. Sure Haven domestic violence training. Every applicant, every licensed individual, every student has to have the Sure Haven training. If you have not had the Sure Haven domestic violence training, this is what you should be doing also this weekend. All right. You are going to go to barbicide.com, do the certification, then jump over to the Share Haven domestic violence training. That's about 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes. And from there, you'll do that certification as well. In applying for your license, it'll ask you to upload your Sure Haven, your domestic violence training certification. So you might have it on your phone or on your laptop or something of that nature. Once you complete the training, just download it, send it to me so I have a copy in your file, and then you keep a copy on your device. And when you pass your exams, or renewing your license, you need to make sure that you have this training. When it says upload, you have to upload this before you pay. You'll be able to upload it and then pay for your test, pay for your license, and you're done. As of now, this was supposed to go away in 2025, but listening to the most recent board meetings and just speaking with certain individuals, this is probably going to be a permanent continuation. So we'll probably get another 4 or 5 years and do it like that. So when you guys get licensed, I don't think it's something that's going to go away. I think it's something every other year that you'll have to get your certification in. Okay. So just updating on that. So if you haven't already, get the barbicide certification this weekend, and the Share Haven domestic violence certification. You're gonna send me all three. You also have the healthy initiative certification. You're gonna send me all three via email when you complete them. Okay. So make sure you send it to yourself, and from you having your own copy, you send it over to me. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Jada says I take an immunity booster and drink elderberry tea, collagen. Collagen make their skin amazing. And so I bought some moringa leaves, and I'm gonna probably do a tea out of that. It makes your skin super, super amazing. And I was making beauty bars with the moringa leaves. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna drink it too. Uh, and also, I got one more elderberry here. All the rest of them at my sister's, but I need to make some more boosters as well. But they were so good and so refreshing. So I'm super happy about that. I'm going to stop share, and then I'm going to jump over to our PSI. Look at our kit supplies. Okay. Making sure we have cape, towels, combs, the mannequin head, EPA registered disinfectant. We are going to get the barbicide wipes, alcohol. Make sure it still has the label on there. And you need to make sure the alcohol is 70%. A spray bottle, pre-cut hair extensions matching the hair color of the mannequin, pre-cut hair weft matching the hair color of the mannequin. Okay. Clips, needle and pre-cut thread, rubber bands, blood exposure kit, which you're going to use as a first aid kit, mannequin stand, tripod or clamp, sealable plastic bag for waste materials, hand sanitizer, and scissors for cutting thread. Okay. Also, if you're going to go into the building, you're going to add Windex wipes. Okay, adding Windex wipes. They're going to provide brooms and dustpans, wall clock, wall stations, things of that nature. Oh, and we had someone do their practical in aesthetics yesterday, and she passed. She made a 93. She made a 93, so super, super excited for her. And a lot of these exams, y'all, they're all about cleanliness. Do what you've been doing every day. Okay. You're just going to enhance it. Okay. You're going to get your license, whatever you got to do to motivate yourself. You're just enhancing it. All right. Looking at the exam setup, pretty much you have where you're going to sanitize your table, the pre-exam setup and disinfection. Of course, it's going to be your wipes, your paper towels, your hand sanitizer, all of that you're going to set up on the station. All right. Your towel, things of that nature. Make sure the kit remains sanitary. You can take a bag or you could take a tote. That tote, you want to hear that click, and you know that's free points, okay? That kit is sanitary. Disinfect the workstation, you're taking a wipe and cleaning that workstation. Super easy. Avoids cross contamination, which means anything that drops on the floor, you're not going to pick it up and put it back in the product. Anything that falls on the floor, you're going to pick it up, put it either in multi-use or single use. Put it away. Then you're going to remove those gloves, sanitize your hands, and then put your gloves back on. All right. And properly dispose of waste material. All right. Making sure you know where it goes is as far as single use and multi use. The cornrow and free fall. And so even with this, I wanted to go here. All right, all right. Cornrow and free fall. Perform one cornrow and one free fall, also known as underhand individual braid on quadrant of choice. Everybody understanding that a cornrow is just a braid to the scalp, okay? A braid to the scalp. You say, Ms. Cox, can we use sprays, gels, edge controls, spritz, and things of that nature? Yes, you can. If you have gels and edge controls, you are going to take a wood stick and remove it out of that container, place it on your finger, and then use it. You're never going to stick your finger in the container, okay? Um, the procedure criteria, you're going to sanitize clean hands always first, drape your clients for the natural service. You're going to part the hair on 4 equal quadrants, perform one cornrow in a quadrant of your choice, and then perform free fall braid in the same quadrant. All right, so just a hanging underhand individual braid. The safety criteria as well, properly dispose of waste materials, ensures the workstation area remains sanitary. You don't have a messy station. Your kit was closed. Ensure the draping is maintained throughout the service. Replaces contaminated items. So making sure you have more than one kit remains sanitary and avoid cross contamination. You did because if you had a gel, you used the spatulas. Then you have visible and invisible braids. Okay. Perform one visible braid. Okay. also known as an underhand single or individual braid, and one invisible braid, also known as a French or overhand braid. Okay. You're going to perform that in the next quadrant. And then you have braid extension. Okay. Perform one braid extension and removal. So what you're going to do, you're going to choose a quadrant and you're going to take the extension hair and you are going to enhance the extension with the braid hair. Okay. And then they want to see you do it. And then they want to see you take it down. You're going to be graded on the selects extension fibers. So make sure you're not using a whole lot. Make sure you're not using too little. Braid extension fibers into that braid and then remove the braid with the extensions. So probably use your tail comb to help unravel it. Your sew in extension. All right. So on the last quadrant, you're going to do a base braid and then you're going to sew in a weft, okay, that matches the hair. So if your mannequins are more so in the brown four category, number four category, you'll get hair on the same kind. You'll get the hair from the same color because they're looking at it. They want it matching. They don't want you to bring color to me. You want to see the difference. No, it's what the board wants. They want it matching. Lastly, you will do the blood spill procedure, which is not necessarily a blood spill procedure. They do that in hospitals. What you'll do is you pretend that the person got cut either on let's do the forehead. You pretend that the person got cut. Let's do the forehead. And from the forehead, you will want to stop the bleeding. So you'll put a gauze and some pressure to stop the bleeding. You'll take that gauze, put it in your single use, then you'll come back, clean it with a wipe. Okay, the first aid wipe. You'll put that in the single use as well. Then you'll come back with a band-aid. Okay, come back with the band-aid, and that'll be you performing your blood exposure service. To close it out, you take your gloves. Well, I want you to sanitize your hands before you touch the client. But you would take your gloves and you would throw them away, and then you'll sanitize your hands and step back. Okay. Everything is going to begin with hand sanitation and gloves, and it's going to end with the removal of the glove and then hand sanitation. Your end of exam disinfection. I'm going to tell you what this means. This means everything you brought in, that empty kit by now, those 2 bags, and your cleaning supplies, all of that walks out of the door with you. Okay. All of that walks out of the door with you. Okay. Remove all your supplies, materials, and personal belongings. This is how these will be scored. Your extension and blood spill, y'all, even though it's really simple, it scores the highest. Notice that the safety is being scored the most over the skill. All right. So look, making sure it's not about you doing the perfect braid. It is about you making sure that you protect your clients from infection and that you also protect yourself. Okay. Yes. All right. I'm going to close today with that. Um, Also, we're closing out that chapter 2. Read the remaining of the chapter. Those questions are going to be due next week, and we're just progressively going in. We will have class Monday. Okay. We will have class Monday. When is Christmas? Thursday?
Wednesday?
Christmas is Wednesday?
Wednesday, 22nd. Sunday is the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Yeah, Christmas is Wednesday.
Okay, we'll have class Monday, and we're just gonna hit it. And Monday we move into our holiday. Okay, so what I'm gonna end up doing is giving an assignment, like a packet for Nini's for your training while we're on break. Okay, and then we'll jump back on. We should be prepping for our state board exam. Okay. And so once we return from holiday, we'll aggressively go into chapter 3, 4, and 5, and then we'll be prepping for state board prep. Okay. Um, y'all have a blessed and amazing day. Until next time, I did the school today 4:30 on down. Um, And Jada, I'm gonna call you because I want you to speak with a young lady that has to go take her test. I just want you to give her some feedback personally, and I take care of you. Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a blessed one.
You too.
Okay. Have a great one, Nini.
You have a great day as well.
Yes, ma'am.